So I went to Nashville. The nice thing about being in Nashville is it's not Indiana. Okay, that was a bit too dramatic, but where I'm from, things just seem dull, which is why my brother, sister-in-law, and myself decided to take a trip to Nashville. We went down for a weekend-long event called Summer Nights, organized by Olin Rogers. The first day of Summer Nights, we hung out at the Soda Parlor, which is Olin's shop that sells a bunch of soda and apparel. Then later that day, they showed a movie in a park where we watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which is one of my all-time favorites, because I used to watch it with my dad and my brother when I was little. The next night was just for people to hang out and play video games at the Soda Parlor, where there was also free pizza, which by the way was paid for by Olin, and he also paid to fly artists out to play a free concert for everyone the last night of the weekend. And he did this every weekend in June. That is giving back. Too many creators are built up to incredibly privileged positions by those who follow them, but then they don't end up showing much appreciation for it after they're popular. Their form of giving back tends to just be something like, retweet my video and I'll follow you, or I'm doing a giveaway but you have to follow me on all my social media accounts in order to win. That's not giving back. That's the type of thing that helps form a weak foundation of infatuation between creators and their fans, rather than a foundation built out of respect. Respect is earned over a longer period of time through investing in other people, not by repeatedly telling your fans that you love them. And Olin is one of the few that has actually built something out of respect. And I'm really grateful that I was able to experience that kind of environment with some of my family. The thing we appreciated most was that Summer Nights wasn't about Olin Rogers. It was more about hanging out and just having a good time. I'm normally horrible at meeting new people, but I was surprisingly comfortable with talking with new people in that kind of environment. It was great to meet a bunch of cool people who had the same interests as us. My brother and I have always been interested in similar things, but he's a bit more expressive than I am. I was also glad that I was in a place where I could just chill with my brother and his wife. I don't think I've come to love someone as fast as I have with my sister-in-law. It almost feels weird for me to call her my sister-in-law because she's just like my sister. She's family. Though a very tiny part of me wants them to separate just so I can call her my sister-outlaw. My brother is a different case. We used to really hate each other as kids, especially after I'd beat him in Pokemon, but we grew up. Sometimes I feel like we grew up a bit too fast. We seem to go to some family member's funeral every year, and though we never really talked about it, I feel that helped us grow closer together. Well, that and me learning to let him win more once we got into Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm very interested to see what things we end up doing in our lives now that we're borderline adults, and borderline adults is definitely going on my list of potential band names. I don't have a lot of friends, but I've made quite a bit of friends through making things online. Some people might say that those aren't real relationships, but I think my second trip to Nashville is evidence that says otherwise. With making friends online, you get to choose who you want to communicate with. It's not like being friends with someone around you at your school or your job. Being friends with people who you can typically only communicate with online is inconvenient and difficult, but I still choose to do it. And there's something great that comes from not just being friends with people because it's convenient, but being friends with people because you genuinely care about each other and enjoy their company. And let me tell you, that is very hard to come by, especially for me. I've been blessed to have these kinds of friendships cross over into physical places like VidCon and Summer Nights. And somehow, despite my bad track record, I've been able to maintain some of these relationships over long periods of time where I've had to be away from friends. That's why I'm so grateful for things like Summer Nights and the kind of atmosphere that Olin Rogers created with the help of a bunch of other great people. It was kind of like summer camp, just with less water slides. There was definitely a sense of community where everyone was there to support doing the things you love and having a good time while doing it. And it gave me the opportunity to hang out with friends I hardly get to see. Whenever we were together at an event, we'd meet new people and get the question, "So, where are you all from?" Which I'm sure they probably expected a quick reply, but what they got was actually a 2-minute response because there were 8 of us and every single one of us were from a different state and we all knew each other through different things. But it was still great getting to meet a good amount of people there from all over the country and even from outside the country, though it was a bit crowded at times, which didn't really matter because we were in Nashville, where there are so many amazing things to experience. Some may be more legal than others, but we always had a good time. I really loved Nashville, and I kinda want to move there and die. Not saying that I just moved there to die, I'd definitely try my best to live for as long as I can, perhaps meet a lady there, but death is inevitable, so if that scares you, sorry. Anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, I got to see a few people there that I met the first week I went, and I got to hang out with some of of them at the Parthenon the last night of the weekend. It was awesome to just relax after a good week and get to know each other a bit better. But while we were doing that, some guy that I hope wasn't drunk drove by the front of the Parthenon and hit a sign in the middle of the road and then just left. I went to go check on it and saw that the sign was very damaged and wouldn't go back in place, so I did the only reasonable thing to do and took it so we could have a bit of fun with it. And you know what? I also kept it. I mean, it was pretty damaged, so I figured if it was gone, then they'll have to replace it with the better, sturdier sign, right? At least that's what I'm telling myself to justify my actions. All in all, Summer Nights was incredible. Thanks to all the guys involved with the soda parlor and to Olin for making it possible for me to have two of the best dang weekends with people who I love.
Growing up, child, is just a matter of time. Forgiving all you've got, so won't you dance under the sun? Growing old feels like you're giving up your soul. I'd rather give it freely to the ones that I call home.